Welcome back, everyone, to our second episode of Rabbi Yitzchak Arama on the Parasha, known as the Perush Akedat Yitzchak. We'll be studying Parasha Noach and specifically delving into the subject of Migdal Babel. And what we're going to try to find out is what really went wrong there. Now, the benefit of studying Rabbi Yitzchak Arama is that before he gives us all of his explanations, he really gives us a direction. He explains to us the questions that he has on the following pesukim, and then proceeds to answer them. So we really get where his head is at and what he's going to focus on. These are the questions that I have on this topic. And we're going to deal with the first one. When they built this Migdal Babel, the common interpretation that's brought down by Masechet Sanhedrin and many Mefarshim afterwards, were they stupid that they really thought that they could build a Migdal and go up to the heavens and fight against God in this sense? So Yitzchak Arama already rejects that perush. Really, if you just look at the text as we are going to do, it doesn't really seem like they did anything wrong. Let us make a name for ourselves, lest we be scattered across all the land. What's wrong with that? What is bothering God in this action? And what is the sin that they did in the story? And that's what we'll go on to see after we read the Pesukim and try to get an understanding of the Peshat. In Sefer Bereshit, 9 Pesukim total, the Migdal Bavel story. The entire people, civilization is one language, and they're all united. And as they travel east, and they find a valley be'eretz Shinar in the land of Shinar, and they dwell there. And they say one to another, let us take these bricks and let us burn them thoroughly. And these bricks will be for us the stone, and this will be for us the mortar to put the bricks together. And let us build the city, and there will be a Migdal, a tower that will go up its head to the heavens, and we'll make a name for us, lest we be scattered across all of the land. And God goes down to see the city and its Migdal asher banu bnei Adam that man had created and built. All of these people, they have one language, they are all together, and this is what they're doing. And anything that they want to do, they're going to be able to accomplish. We're going to intervene, go down, and mix up their languages so that they do not understand one another. And God scatters them across all of the land, and they are unable to complete the building of the city. And therefore the city was called Babel, because God mixed up all the languages of the land, and there God scattered the people. Now you see here from the story that there doesn't need to seem to be a blatant sin, nor really a severe punishment. If you think about the punishment that God gives to Adam, Chava, and the Nahash in the original story of Gan Eden, if you think of the story of the Mabul in our Parasha, and how severe the punishment was there, in this story, there doesn't need to seem to be a blatant sin, as Rabbi Yitzchak Arama mentions, and there doesn't really seem to be a severe punishment. They're scattered across the land with different languages. So what is the problem of this story? Gazru bedatam shtachlit hamiyuchad lahem hu hakibutz hamedini. Rabbi Yitzchak Arama says that by analyzing the story, it seems that they were very united, that was their focus, that was their emphasis. And that was the problem. They put as a forefront of their mind, as their main priority, for them to have a good social structure and society. Well, what's wrong with that? He continues, they didn't sin in what they thought, that it's important to develop a united and a strong social system. But the fact that they sat there in the area of Babel, and they thought of it as the main priority, the main purpose of their lives. And they lost track of the real purpose, of the real objective that they should have been focusing on, to develop their neshamon and their connection with Borei Olam. Here is a reference to Harambam's Moreh Nevuchim, that the Eitz Hadad may have been a focus on the social development of mankind, but the Eitz HaChaim, in which they did not focus on, was the focus between them and Borei Olam, the spiritual, intellectual development of man, which is the primary focus that man should be having in this world. It continues, he brings a midrash from Bereshit Rabbah, Benosam Mikedem. One of the first Pesukim we read was that they traveled east. Mikedem references Mikedem leGan Eden. Benosam Mikedem, they went further away from Gan Eden, Mikadmuno Shel Olam, from the originator of the world, from Borei Olam, meaning that their emphasis and their focus was on their social societies and wasn't enough on their spiritual, intellectual, and their connection with Borei Olam. And on this, we'll end by making a suggestion. In the first shiur, we mentioned how Rabbi Yishak Arama was a rabbi of a kahal, and he led that kahal. And the speeches that he gave from the pulpit, from the bima, were speeches that addressed all different issues in his community, in the society. And it could be that Rabbi Yishak Arama is messaging his community, listen, it's very important to be united. It's very important to come to the Beit Knesset and to come together and all to be united. Rabbi Yishak Arama mentioned that is very important. That is a goal. That's not bad. That's very good. But we can't lose sight of the main objective. And that is, as human beings, it's beautiful to all be together and all to be on the same page. But we have to realize that unity and shalom and peace is nothing if it is not centered around our service of Borei Olam. And our synagogues, while they're great places for social interaction, for cultivating of unity amongst the kahal, we have to realize that first and foremost, the Beit Knesset is a place to connect with Borei Olam. And while being unified as a community is very important, the primary goal is for a person to develop his mind, his spirituality, and connect with Hashem. Let us not lose track of what the purpose of mankind is over here, according to the philosophy, at least of Rabbi Yishak Arama, to connect with our Creator. Have a great day, Shabbat Shalom, and hope to see you next time in the study of Rabbi Yishak Arama, the Akedat Yitzchak.